definitely I definitely felt like there was like several versions of Charlotte when me and Brandon were putting it together, and you know, Brandon's the main songwriter on that song. I just kind of gave him some points and things to put together. Once we send it off to Aaron just took it to a whole nother level that I was not ready for. You know, even my wife, when she first heard the song after Aaron had done what he did to it, she just looked at me and she's like, holy fucking shit, like this is fucking amazing. And that's why, you know, I've had this argument and disagreement with certain people will hire, you know, producer A because producer A is the top producer, but that producer really doesn't give a fuck about you, and they're only concerned about making sure your levels are correct, everything's supposed to be where it's supposed to be. But are they giving you that extra, you know, that extra love, that extra attention? And anytime we've done something with Aaron, I always feel like Aaron gives you that extra attention. He gives you that extra love to make it sound not only good for you, but make sure that people know that Aaron's not giving you half-ass work. And I think that's what I absolutely love and respect about him, and cannot wait to have him on my show. For real.
Yo, yes, he works so hard. And throughout the process of working for somebody, he's just always asking like, hey, how does this sound so far? What would you like done to it? Before he starts, he will ask for, you know, references, or he'll ask what type of mix you're going for. It's just such a great experience working with him, and I can't wait to go to his studio, meet him in person, and do some Worm Sheperd stuff with him.
No, for real. He is definitely one of those artists and producers that just, when he puts his stamp on it, he really puts his stamp on it, man. And once again, it's the same thing I feel like Brandon. When I first met Brandon almost 2 years ago, he was a good producer. You know, he could put some stuff together. Now I think he's in a whole nother atmosphere because he's worked with Aaron, because him and Aaron have built a relationship. And, you know, that's some of those things that I wish people would focus more on when it comes to music. And to be honest with you, Aaron, Devin, sorry. What I'm seeing with you is you're building strong relationships, man, and keep doing that stuff, man, because I'm telling you right now, you've got the range, you've got the talent, you've got the age, man, where you don't have a lot of things holding you back, and all it takes is, you know, Worm Sheperd to pop off, or a band to realize, man, we need a strong, you know, new vocalist, or whatever the case is, and you're in there, and it'll probably take death before you let go of that spot, for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. So that's
absolutely,
that's really fucking sick. Is there anything else you want to talk about, man? Anything you want to like share on, man? I know you answered about your drummer on the Worm Sheperd project, but do you want to talk about Aaron, or talk about Ryan, or talk about Brandon, your relationship with Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon is a really, really good friend to me. Anytime I need advice, or I'm feeling super upset, like I just go straight to him, and he's just always seems to be the best support. And the stuff he writes, when I heard the Misery chord stuff, I was blown away, but then when he put out like his own stuff, I was like, geez, dude, I get so emotional listening to his stuff. And the fact that he's so talented, that instantly when I was looking for a guitar player to do this with, I just went straight to him.
Yeah, for sure. He is he's one of those people, sometimes people don't like receive how he is as a person, but who he is as a person, he's always loving, he's always passionate, and if he gives you 100% of him, it's because he believes in you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I've always felt with him. I would say he's probably one of the few people that when I get in a room with and we start getting creative, where it's almost like a single track mind. He's thinking what I'm thinking what he's thinking, and we go back and forth on it, man. And it's a beautiful thing, man. And that's why I say I support him in anything he does, because like I said, when he gives 100%, he's giving you everything he's got, and he's going to do what it takes to make it sound good, for real, man. And in this conversation with you, Devin, I'm starting to see why he's giving you 100%, because you seem like a very well-adjusted person. You have your own points of view, and that's fucking sick, man. You don't have a lot of people like that in this world anymore. You know what I'm saying? Who, you know, accept what they've got, man, for real.
that means a lot to me to hear.
Yeah,
I never really, I'm not even too social.
mm-hmm.
Well, now my life is changing really drastically, but I've
Yeah.
never been the most social person. Do a lot more writing and talking to myself more than anybody since I was a child. So
Yeah, man.
this is really cool to hear.
I feel you on that vibe, man. I mean, even now as a 30, almost 34-year-old, I still talk to myself sometimes, but it's just because you're just trying to make sure what you're thinking is correct. You know?
Yeah, dude.
You gotta, sometimes when you think of something, you gotta hear it out loud for you to go, well, that's stupid as shit. Or you're like, man, you know what? That actually is a good idea. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when I got into the podcasting thing, I was nervous because I find my voice the most annoying thing in the world. And it's the same thing with like recording music. For many, many years, I thought I sounded like trash in the studio. And then I just kind of had to develop a mindset to get me to where I want to be, you know, and it's the same thing with this podcasting thing. But Devin, I want to say thank you so much for being on this show, man. We are going to be watching closely with everything that you're doing, Devin, man. And we got to have you back on the show. I know, me and you were bouncing some ideas before we did this show, and we might have to work on some of those ideas because I think they'd be really interesting and give people a good perspective, not only on you, but as me as well. But yeah, before we get off here, man, plug your social medias, man. Tell everybody where they can find you at, and say whatever it is you want to say, man.
Okay, awesome. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on here and wanting me on here.
Hell yeah.
That means a lot to me, and I appreciate being here.
Mm-hmm.
To you taking the time to talk to me, have me on here. Social medias.
Yeah.
Instagram is Devin to Embers, just underscores between all three of the words.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Devin Durate,
Mm-hmm.
and then I really don't do anything else. I do want to shout out Hardcore Keem. I love you so much. That video.
Yeah,
and
man.
I also want to shout out my boy, my guy, Randiness. That dude, this was my first reaction video
Mm-hmm.
I've ever had for me. You dude is so nice and so talented, and I can't wait to see his channel grow and expand.
Hell yeah, man. Those guys had, like I said, some really interesting reactions for you, especially Hardcore Keem. He walked out of his room and then came back in and assaulted his chair, which was hilarious. So, I mean, that's got to be good things, man. And like I said, we're going to be watching closely, man, and we're going to support, you know, anything you're putting out there, brother. But thank you, man, for being on the show. I greatly appreciate it, man. And we're going to have you back on. All right, man?
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem, man.